Hey everybody, it's Steve, and so I'm going to be doing an update on SparkSwap. I'm going to be kind of doing this a little bit more often to show you how the 404s, the farms, and the token is doing. Now let's go ahead and take a look. I did this last update 10 days ago. I'm going to try to do these more on the weekends, but this last weekend was busy. Not a lot of you tune into these, which is kind of a bummer, and you missed the easy play on the 404 to make some money. But let's go ahead and take a look at how things are doing. So if we go to the Spark 404 page, we are back up to $44. We were down a little bit from that. As you can see, I've got $1.66 in rewards. Nothing crazy, but I also have a few more Sparkies. So I'm going to shrink the screen just a tiny bit so I can try to show you all of them. I really only need to show you these three. I got two of the same here. But we're going to be talking about the farms and how I'm using these to keep investing in these to get more of these so I earn more rewards and in theory make the price go back up. Remember, this started at about $30. It went way up to like almost 50 or 60, like 80 I meant to say price, and then it went back down, which makes sense because if you got it cheap you're going to sell and get some money back. And people are waiting to see what else these things get money from. Now if you don't know much about these, you can watch the other videos where I go over them a little bit more, but just quick breakdown. Spark 404s are a brand new 404 NFT. What does that mean? How do I own this NFT? Well, you'll see if I go to the exchange and I press this, I have Spark 404 tokens, 4.3, because I am slowly investing into them. Now the reason why I have 4.3 instead of 2.3 is the EMP team is very nice, and they gave me a couple of them as a past payment towards, or it wasn't really a payment, it's just kind of a hey, thank you. They were giving out 404s to people who are being active in their community. They saw I made 2 videos. They gave me 2 NFTs. Now, I'm not going to give them away right now because I want to keep owning these and investing in these, but maybe in the future, if I start getting some more likes on these videos and watches, we can give one away. But I'm going to keep making them, keep pushing them, and hopefully the community starts to look into this project. Now, it is on Pulse Chain, but they do have a bridge where you can bring over money from either Arbitrum or BSC, and pretty soon they're going to be adding the Mana network. A lot of this will be going over in the fact that EMP team that launched this is launching their EMP Fusion. I'm going to be doing a video over that in the next few days. It launches on the 14th. I want to make sure I get it out before then. But let's go ahead and get back into looking at the Spark farms. So the Spark farms, they offer a lot of different farms. Probably the most that people are going to be interested in. Oh, let's see. I'm having issues connecting today with Rabby, which is a little bit weird. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it connected. I think maybe MetaMask is going like, hey, you're supposed to be using me, but I like Rabby a little bit more. Okay, so if you look at these, the ones that are like obviously like most people should be like, oh, maybe I should put a little money into those, is the one that is just dollars, right? This is DAI and DAI. So obviously I have, DAI and DAI paired with each other. Yes, this is SDAI. When you move DAI from any other chain over to here, you get SDAI fully backed, held by the team. EMP hasn't done any scams, yes, but there is a trust factor in their SDAI will remain fully back and they won't get hacked, not without any risk, but you're getting 54% on a stable pair. They do have another stable pair. This comes from the Arbitrum chain with their team that they work with, which is the SDAI USD DEX. This is basically another stable pair, and it's at 52%. These usually stay relatively close to each other. It's like, do you like USDC as well? They do have a farm here, but it's USDC Pulse, so you get 54%, but you are in the chance that Pulse could go down, and then you have that impermanent loss issue or real loss if you decide to get out of them. Any of these other farms have that, but the stables don't. They have a nice, if you're into ETH and the EMP one, they have this EMP ETH farm, which is still playing at 62% and is really, if you know much about them, ETH paired to ETH, kind of. You have to trust the project, trust that they can regain peg, but it's kind of like ETH paired to ETH, and it's been doing pretty good. Now, I claimed most of these farms 10 days ago, but I don't claim them all. But the main one I'm going to show you right now that I'm using to keep investing into the Spark 404 pair and how I'm doing that is this BSpark Pulse one. Now, I only put $186 in this. I claimed it 10 days ago. And because it's paying this outrageous $179, it is back up to paying it paid me $10 in 10 days. So $1 a day off of $86 put into this pool. Given you have to trust BSpark and Pulse, there's a lot of chance that you're going to lose some money in here. But if I'm making back, what is that? 5% a week? I mean, 5% over 10. Oh, no. Is it more than 5%? No, it'd be about, it's almost $200. It's like 7% or something altogether, right? So about 7% back in 10 days. Then I can take some impermanent loss. And then I hope that eventually when I go out of this farm, I'll do it when Pulse is on a run. When will Pulse go on a run? I don't know. I'm going to take that chance. But I'll show you how I'm using this farm and maybe some of the other farms to go ahead and reinvest into the coins that I have in my farms and the NFTs I'm trying to get more of. So I can harvest this farm. We're on Pulse Chain, so it's going to be pretty cheap to go ahead and sign this. So we're going to do a quick sign. We'll wait for that to harvest. It'll take it usually takes a few minutes, sometimes only a few seconds, but it usually does take, I'd say, like a minute or two while we talk. And then I'm going to go ahead and go here to the stake. Now I have my die one. Now I do usually sell some of this and put it back into the die one unless I really am looking into something else. I have this bro one. Really, I got some bro for free because I owned one of the coins. They gave some of the people some for free. So I sold about half of it, a little more than half of it into Pulse, put it in here, and I'm just letting this earn me some different rewards. Since this bro token I got from them, I'm going to be doing adding this into my Spark 404 because I got these for free. So it's like a free roll into that NFT project. So we're also going to do a harvest on here. So there you go. That other harvest went through. Now, again, I'm not speeding these up, so they're going through at normal speed. So we're going to claim that one. So that'll be, we got $10 over here, $5 over here. It's a $44 NFT. So you can see we're already at about a quarter of an NFT. Now we can go down here. We can look at some of the other farms I'm in Spark Goat. Spark Goat is actually meant to feed my Sparkler. EMP ETH is also meant to feed my Sparkler position. And my Hex Pulse is kind of meant to do whatever I want, but I don't claim it all the time because I only have $200. It's only 28%. You see kind of the difference here. This one over those 10 days only earned $2, while this one earned 11. You can see how this would maybe, I'd be behooved to go ahead and put this in this farm instead. But I do like holding a little bit of Hex, so I have some in this farm because, hey, if Pulse Chain exceeds, Hex Pulse should both go up in the long term. So I have that little farm position. I usually wait till it gets up to a few more dollars and do a harvest, or I'll do a harvest with other farms when I'm going into doing a Sparkler stake. But okay, so we've done our 2 harvest. Did the second one go through? Let me see. Yeah, I don't have anything pending, so those should go through. So now I'm going to go to the the trade. So we're going to go to the exchange. So now I have some Spark, and I could do straight Spark to here, right? But if I do this, let me show you what happens if I do max. It's showing me that it's going to do this. Spark to this, to that, to this, and I'm going to get 0.35. Is that the best move here, or is there something that could be a little bit easier for me? Well, I can do Spark to, they have a lot of new tokens on here now. BSpark. So we can go Spark to BSpark, and this is kind of an interesting one, because now if I do this max and I get this 308 BSpark, well, now I can do I can switch this. I can go into 404 and I can see, well, what would 308 BSpark get me? 0.352. So it's about the same. But let me show you something just really quick that you need to be aware of if you want to look into this. So let's say you were coming into this with wrapped pulse and you wanted to get into the Spark 404s. Well, you can go straight. Wait, I picked the wrong one. You can go straight into this one. Obviously, it's more like, that much to there. I could get one because, these aren't worth that much right now. But you can see when you do that, it goes from here to B Spark to Spark. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't go to Spark and then have you go to here, because one of the things you have to be a little bit careful of is over here. I could burn my Spark, my 236 Spark, into B Spark, but I would only want to do that if B Spark was worth more than Spark at a given moment. So if I go back to the trades tab, just to make this simpler, I kind of went around in a lot of a mess, but I can go to Spark. I can go to B Spark. And I can see what the trade is. And if I'm trading this and getting 300 of this, then I am doing the then I should not burn my Spark. If I went and checked my Spark here and checked this, and I was only seeing getting 230 B Spark, then well, you would want to get it. But that's going to be the liquidity game that is being played around in B Spark. Now, I am safe in doing a direct purchase of this to here and getting the 404 token. Now, this is the interesting thing in this NFT project. If you don't feel like buying a $44 NFT, what does an NFT 404 let you do? You can buy 0.35 of a token this week for, this is roughly, what was it, like maybe $16 in rewards, roughly 11 and 5. So for $16, you can get about 3/5 of an NFT. If you're in the farms, you can come back, you can keep doing that. And once you get to one full token, an NFT will show up in your wallet. And when I do get this balance up to 5, you will see an NFT show up in my wallet. Now, there are some fees when I'm buying this. And so when I do this swap, what I'm doing right now through the bottom is I'm trading Spark into Pulse. That does hurt Spark a little bit. Using that to buy Burn Swap, that's going to move Burn Swap back up. And then sending the Burn Spark to get the Sparker 504. That means both of my, accept, confirm. Oh, okay. I have to just wait a second here. Let's do another swap. Confirm swap. SparkSwap router insufficient output. This probably issue with one of the tokens you are swapping. Okay, let me check something. This is meaning, I wouldn't think that would mean there is not enough burn Spark. I'm going to do a quick refresh here. Okay, let's do, I was trying to do this in one trade, so we're going to try again. Spark to Spark 404. We're going to hit the max. We're going to get our math. We're going to try to do this. Okay. So, what if we go Spark to B Spark? We'll do this the long way. 236.426. Swap, confirm swap. All right. We'll confirm. This does mean I'll have to pay 2 tiny pulse transactions, but it seemed like the router was having issues for some reason, turning my burn Spark into the Spark 404, which I'm not really sure why it did that to me, but it's not something it did to me last time I did this, but it shouldn't be a big issue. All right, so now we should have our, and then this. So then we do this, and then we do our swap. Contraction cannot be due to error on smart router. This is probably an issue with one of the coins. I wouldn't think that Spark 404 is out, that the liquidity would be gone on it. That would seem odd. Let me try something just to simplify things and do 308 tokens. Well, I'm not sure why this isn't working. I don't want it to completely ruin the video, guys, and I don't know that how many would have seen it. But eventually, when I figure this out, I will be putting this BSpark into Spark 404. Now, I'm going to go back to my farms, go to my staked farms, and we're going to do a harvest here. And we'll finish this off by talking a little bit about the sparkler and taking a look at that. We're going to go here. We're going to claim that one, this one, and then we are also going to, no, we're not going to harvest the dye one today. We're going to save that to put a little bit more money into the dye farm. So we're going to put right now the ETH and the Spark one into Sparkler. So now let's go ahead and go to Sparkler. So what is Sparkler? Well, the Spark token is kind of an interesting token, guys. Eventually, they're going to stop giving it out on the farms. Why? Because eventually they'll just be a place where you can change coins, a DSX, and it's going to allow you to make a little bit if you put in, if you go ahead and put some electricity back into any of the different coins. Kind of like any other deck that's out there, eventually they stop issuing their coin, or they issue them very, very, very less, cut it down very much. And then the Sparkler is the place that currently gets all the fees from the trading and all the fees from the bridge. And I think they have a couple other ways that you can earn with that. They earn their money that they do, and then they distribute that out to the Spark holders. But they pay us out in Wrapped, Pulse, and Spark. So they earn fees in everything, and then they buy Spark and pair it with Pulse, because obviously they earn Pulse fees on everything because their decks get some of their fees in Pulse. Then they get whatever other tokens they get fees off of. Eventually they end up buying up Spark token. If they need to, they'll buy some Pulse token, then they'll pair those together, and that's what we get paid out in. So as you can see, I have $3 sitting over here. I have a little over $200 staked. If you look at my stakes, I do max stakes, and they do eventually get over what they are paid. My first couple ones are in profit. This was $1.24 staked. It's at $1.56 paid out. This is 82 cents. This is 67 staked. This is $1.39. Yes, I started small. I am still waiting for my biggest deposit, which is down here somewhere. Most of these were just slow and steady growth. 13, 15, 24. They started getting a little bit bigger when things were up. Oh, I thought I had one. I must have went right past it. I have one bigger stake in here that's like $100. It must. Wait. It was only actually $36 when I did my 530 Spark. But now I can do a stake of that 235, that max, and go ahead and put this in here. Now, yes, in 10 years, I can get the. I can unstake these coins and get them back, and then I'd have to stake them again to keep earning from this DEX. But it has to last for 10 years. So this is kind of like burning the tokens. But why would you do that? It's because eventually nobody else is going to be able to stake into this. I'm going to have an ownership, and I'm going to earn fees. And eventually, over time, certainly before the 5 years is up, it didn't take, it took me like. Let's see, this is at 304 days. I staked it for 360 days. So, it did take like 200 days, and this is in profit. I do expect this DEX to be around for at least a couple years. Pulse Chain is relatively new. EMP has been around for 5. I don't see them going anywhere. I don't see crypto going anywhere. We have everything working. So I think eventually I should have a stake here of hopefully around 10 or 20,000 of these coins, and I'll just have to hope that if they've stopped issuing Spark by that point, that's enough to get a nice little payout at once or twice a month, or maybe even once a week if the DEX is up to doing higher amounts of volume. And if you've seen any of my other videos, they also get fees from the perpetuals, and they do have this NFT marketplace now that they're going to be getting fees on. You can definitely see that, if there's been any volume. There hasn't been any volume in the last few days, so hopefully they'll let us know how many they have sold. but most people at this point, they don't buy them off of here, mostly because a lot of people are asking for a lot for them. And you just can burn one of these and then buy the coin to get more of them. We'll try one more time on here. We'll go to this. We'll go to the trade, and we will try to trade our BSpark one more time. And if it doesn't work, we'll end the video, and then hopefully I'll be able to show you next week when hopefully I am capable of doing the trade. Oh, I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong. I'm such a dummy. I need to. For this trade, I need to set my slippage at 15%. Let's just put it for like 5 minutes. Okay. Now, I should be able to swap. I'm such a dummy. So, when you're buying this token, the way that we earn our payouts is that we pay 7% on the buy and 7% on the sell. This means I had to have at least, I actually only had to put that at like 8% slippage because I was going to lose 7% and I might have used a little bit more. Now I can go to my settings and I can go back down to here like I would normally be for any other trade. But when you swap into a BSwap, I'm such a dork. When you swap into the Spark 404 token, you have to have that little bit of a fee. Again, that fee that we are paying when we buy is what's going into these rewards. So as what I just did there is I bought some BSpark, which upped the BSpark value, which I'm in a farm with BSpark. So that farm, hopefully that increases the value of my BSpark token. I bought some Spark 404 token, which should increase the price of the Spark 404 token. Given my little buy isn't going to move the price, but if others do this with me, we will move it. And then I gave us all a little bit of a reward because 7% of my buy is going to be turned into rewards for them. Now, what do you get when you claim these? You get 404 tokens. So eventually, when this gets up to being maybe a few more dollars, hopefully, I will be able to claim my tokens, and hopefully that'll push me into getting my next NFT. One of the other things you'll kind of notice, though, since these tokens are always liquid, they don't, even though this is of 10,000, this token, there's only 10,000 of them that can be owned. So when you think this price maybe can't move, you'd only need a few interesting whales that decided they wanted to hold a lot of them. Now, will whales be really interested in these right now? I don't know. AGA does know a few people that are bigger in this whole ecosystem, but they have said that eventually, besides the reflection fees on the 7% buy and sell on this token, there is going to be some kind of other way that they earn, because he is absolutely someone who believes in the fact that that an NFT needs to have a way to earn or be used in a game to have real utility. And I do expect that eventually this price is going to look pretty cheap. Not financial advice, but if you can buy these pretty close to mint was $30 for a few lucky people, then it exploded, then it came back down. Well, I mean, I'm not minding buying them here. And then if there's some added functionality and rewards that comes into place for owning these, then I'll be glad that I was picking them up down here at this price. If I'm wrong, well, it's not the most expensive NFT, and I'm really just taking some of my rewards and putting them back into the coins that I'm earning off of. All right, everyone, that's the end of this one. It was a little bit longer. If you made it to the end, let me know. I appreciate you for hanging around while I was struggling through some of this. All right, guys, this was filmed on Wednesday night, but probably going to be posted early on Thursday.